हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है आप सभी का इस यूट्यूब चैनल जीएस विद राहुल पर। आई वेलकम यू ऑल इन दिस यूट्यूब चैनल जीएस विद राहुल एंड हियर इन दिस लेसन in this particular video we are going to talk about the date of 23rd September 2019. So as you already aware about this thing that we are covering the current affairs for public administration optional. So these are the current affairs from the Hindu newspaper that you have to cover with respect to 23rd September 2019. Okay, so this is for public administration optional itself. For the previous dates, for 21 you can basically refer to the playlist section of this channel after subscribing to this channel. And for 22nd there was no news article that you can relate with public administration because the Sunday was there, and on Sundays there are news articles with respect to science and technology. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, school head ensures pick up drop this drop of children. Okay, so you can relate this particular news with the district administration. So basically if you read this news article, this is all about a particular school head. So a particular school head is there, and that particular person, what he has did, so basically the thing is that he ensures that people and the children, they can come to school and they can they can go to their homes, respective homes. Okay, so that's why what he did, he basically he is basically providing this facility of this rickshaw. Okay, auto rickshaw. He basically he just take a kind of contract, and he just give this kind of responsibility to one of the auto driver, and that auto driver would go to the respective colleges of these, you can say, of these children, and then they will, you can say, you can understand, just like private school, you can understand, because here we are talking about those primary schools where buses and all these things, all these facilities are not available. Okay, so this is the big thing. And what is happening, that this school head, he is basically the cost that he is basically the cost which is being charged on him is around 4500 rupees. Okay, so he is giving this rupees from his pocket. So you can write these things in the examination. In case of here you can see about school head, you can write about district administration. You can basically use these things in your life as well, and you can understand it as a case study. Okay, you can use this thing in anywhere in your district administration, that district magistrates can do this thing and they are using this thing in different places. In this way you can relate it. Okay, I hope you are getting. The second news article is with respect to Aadhaar linkage with GST registration. So this is something that you will get in the editorial page. So on editorial page, on the left hand side, if you just assume this is the editorial page, so here on this portion you will get this particular news article, Aadhaar linkage with GST registration. So you can simply relate it with the things as you can see over here. So if you just look over here, GST registration linked with Aadhaar. Okay, so now one aspect is e-governance, because e-governance is specifically given in your syllabus in significant issues as well as in your accountability and control. It is important for all these papers, in paper 1 and paper 2. e-governance is very important, and in GS also it is important. So you can link it with the e-governance portion, and you can relate it with the Herbert Simon. Why Herbert Simon? Because Herbert Simon was talking about bounded rationality. Okay, in the normal books you will not get this thing, that how can you relate him with the Herbert Simon. Just understand and just try to focus on what I am saying. Okay, so he was talking about bounded rationality. If you are thorough with the bounded rationality, then it's okay, otherwise please read that thing. Okay, so he was talking about bounded rationality. You can refer to my course at Unacademy for that. Okay, so there is a free course of 250 plus lessons, so you can refer. Simon was talking about bounded rationality. He was saying that rationality is not possible in the organization. Okay, so because rationality is not possible in the organization, he says that that the people, the men in the organization, they are not rational men, they are not economic men, rather they are administrative men. Okay, if you read the economic surveys chapter with respect to this behavioral nudge and all, in that also this survey is talking about this thing, that policy should be for it should not be for it should not be for the homo sapien and all these things, homo sapien and homo economicus, all these things are mentioned. Okay, so here bounded rationality is something because of the different cognitive conditions, because of the different limitations, humans are not perfectly rational. Okay, so that's why he was talking about bounded rationality. And when people ask him that how can you improve the rationality, then he give this thing that computerization, information and communication technology, these things should be used. Okay, so here when we are linking Aadhaar in GST and all, this is a kind of computerization, this is a kind of use of ICT, and that's why you can say that it is linked with the Herbert Simon, who give this phenomena that if you want to really improve the rationality is something that you cannot take for granted, you have to focus on this aspect. Please provide ICT, use computer, use other aspects like operational research and all. Okay, so he gives certain recommendation like operational research, use this, statistics, use those things, mathematical statistics, use computers, use ICT. So you can write over here, you can link with that particular thing. I hope you are getting. So apart from that, the third news, so kindly refer to that article and relate it with the Herbert Simon and e-governance. Okay, and apart from that, nationalist hindrance to climate action. So basically this is the main lead editorial that is given in the Hindu of 23rd September 2019. So here basically the writer is basically talking about this thing that the nations are not serious with respect to climate action. They are more focused there towards their nationalist ideology. They are for example, America is focusing not on climate change, but they are focusing more on the MAGA, making America great again. Okay, Similarly, India, you can write, you can criticize or whatever you can do. Okay, if you want to say it, then say it, otherwise you can leave it. Apart from that, many countries, all these countries are doing all these things. Okay, so there are two phenomena writers talking about, two track that can be you can say that can be taken in order to improve the situation. One is the diplomatic pressure and second one is the self-realization sort of thing. So many things are there, you can refer to the article, but how can you relate this kind of thing in the with the paper of public administration? So here you can see that when we are saying that impose diplomatic pressure, every country should focus on the climate change instead of their nationalist things and all. So here we are basically talking about cooperation, we are talking about participation, and if you read participation, you can link it with the thinkers, like you can relate it with the McGregor was talking about participation. He was talking about theory Y, in which you have to take the people in the as a part, you can say if you are managing the things, for example UN is managing. Okay, so they have to apply these kind of ideology. Okay, here you have to understand that UN is not a kind of UN is a kind of manager over here. Okay, because they are responsible for all these things. Okay, similarly you can take any example, you can UNFCCC. Okay, the entire management, they are managers over here, they have to utilize the theory Y, they have to use this kind of participation. Similarly, they have to utilize the ideas of Ergairis. What Ergairis was doing, Ergairis was saying with respect to this thing. So Ergairis give this model, this matrix organization and all. Ergairis was talking about strategic development of organization. So there are four basically model that he give. Fourth one is the matrix organization that give power according to the contribution. Okay, so you can relate it with that particular thing, power according to the contribution. If a country is contributing more, then give them more power. Okay, relate climate change, this is also a solution, that relate climate change with the contribution. If a particular country it is contributing more in the climate change, if it is helping more, then give some benefits, some sort of penalties, some sort of you can say some sort of penalties and rewards should be there. Okay, so Ergairis you can relate. Similarly, fourth and third one, Rancis Likert. So Likert was talking about management system 1, management system 2, management system 3 and management system 4. This is known as exploitative authoritative, benevolent authoritative. Then we have this participate in this you can say ये दिस BA क्या था यार, मैं भूल गया खुद ही. Exploitative, authoritative, benevolent, authoritative, yes, consultative and then participative. So management system 4 needs to be used when we are talking about climate change, because countries are not interested, so participation is important. Again you can relate it with that. Okay, I hope you are getting. So now from now onwards you would be able to understand that how can you relate climate change, what are the steps with respect to climate change. So in those things you can use these type of things. So now there are two ways to use these things. Let me tell this thing in a very rapid manner or in a very quick manner. First of all, the thing that you need to understand that GS, this paper 1 or paper 2 for that matter of public administration, they would not ask you about this thing, that how can you relate climate change with the thinkers, or they would not ask you the question regarding climate change in which you can write, but they would ask you about the coordination, participation, or you can say burning issues that are going on. Okay, in that way you can relate. Or for example, if you are talking about McGregor, if you are talking about Argyris, or for that matter if you are talking about the relevance of the theory of this Likert, you can directly quote that this is something that needs to be taken care of, this is something that we need to adopt, we need to apply these models in case of global organizations, in UN, in UNFCCC. You have to apply these phenomena, participation and theory Y and management system 4 and this matrix organization given by Argyris. So in this way you can there are you can say there are two approaches to understand this thing. Okay, your relevance is done. So now your three thinkers relevance you can write with respect to climate change, and in climate change you can write them. Okay, I hope you are getting. The fourth one, the fourth important news is with respect to tobacco. So tobacco board official opt out of US event. So recently, as you know that the US event is there, so in US the event is going to happen. So you have to talk you have to read about this particular news. Okay, so it is given in the Hindu itself. So this tobacco board, okay, you have to read about this thing, you have to read in detail. Why? Because this is the organizational perspective. Okay, so there are regulatory bodies and all these things are given. In paper 1 you can relate it with the organization, and in paper 2 you can relate it with the you can relate again, because in paper 2 also there is the units with respect to all these you can say regulatory bodies and all. Okay, you will get these headings, regulatory bodies. Okay, so whenever you get regulatory body, any of the regulatory body, please try to cover in a detailed manner, and in this way you would be able to understand the things. Okay, I hope this particular lesson would be helpful for you to read the Hindu newspaper. One announcement that there are some days when there would not be any Hindu newspaper, or for example the Hindu newspaper would be there but relevant news articles would not be there. So please don't take tension with respect to that thing. You can subscribe to the Telegram channel with the name you can simply search Pubedpedia official at Telegram, or I would provide the link in the description. Pubed, pub ad and then pedia, Wikipedia wala pedia, Pubedpedia official. So search it on this Telegram, or I would provide the link, so you would be able to join it, and there I would inform you that today whether articles are there or not. Okay, I hope you are getting this, and I hope you are able to understand and relate the things. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day.